Carpet, AccuClean is a veteran-owned and local carpet cleaning company located in the Midlands for over 20 years. Call AccuClean today at 803-957-1202 to make sure your carpets are refreshed this holiday season. Once again, that's AccuClean at 803-957-1202. We hope to see you soon.
Coming up, scores and reports from across the state and analysis from David Shelton. The Scoreboard is brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now your host for the high school scoreboard, Phil Kornblut.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome into the high school football scoreboard across the state of South Carolina here on the Sports Talk Media Network, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Phil Kornblut, Josh Cohen here at our studios downtown Columbia. The scores are rolling in. We got some interesting stuff happening out there. We got some blowouts in some games that we thought might be close. We've already got folks lined up to give us reports from games that they were at. So I want to jump right to that. And yes, you're going to think I'm playing the home field here, okay? You're going to think I'm looking out for number one, but I've never done this before. Really, my alma mater, Latta High School, is having one of the greatest football seasons in its history, and they won a huge game tonight. Not only did they win a huge game tonight over Lakeview at Latta, the Death Dome, the game, this has got to be a first, the game was televised. Alan Smothers and his television crew comes to Latta and does the Latta Lakeview game on television in the PD Grandstand. Unheard of. I'm sure the television ratings will be through the roof. But Latta beat Lakeview coming from behind. They were down 14-3 at halftime. 2 second-half scores. Stopped Dillon down close late in the game. Read out the clock, 17-14. And the bad boy of sports talk, radio, and television, Alan Smothers, joining us on the lonely ride back to the Grand Strand. Hello, sir. Alan, are you with us?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I'm in the worst part of Marion County for my signal. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, man, you're coming through fine.
Okay, well, you will love this. The Fighting Phil Kornblut's perseverance tonight made the difference against their arch rival Lakeview, 17-14. And you're right, it was a 14-3 game. Lakeview had it in complete control in the first half, did what they needed to do, running the football, and Latta just couldn't get on track. Well, in the second half, the defense stood up, and Slayton Strickland came to the rescue on several occasions defensively, and on one ensuing kickoff, after Latta had scored to take the touchdown lead, or scored a touchdown on a pass, no less, they scored on a crossing pattern, perfect throw from LeBron, the quarterback, and he hits the wide receiver perfect on the goal line. They take the lead. Well, the ensuing kickoff was returned, and it was destined to be a run back for a touchdown, but Slayton Strickland came out of nowhere, blazing speed to save the touchdown, and they held him on downs at the 10-yard line to win the game 17-14 to put that region, which is one of the toughest 1A regions in the state, into chaos, because Latta lost to Lamar 2 weeks ago. Now Lakeview loses to Latta, and Lakeview goes to Lamar, I think, next week. So a big time battle for that top spot in their region. And yeah, first time, and don't say the bad boy and his crew. It's the ABC 15's crew, WPDE TV 15. They set up the games. Lucky Dog Television Productions produces it, and I'm just the mouth of the South. Right? You know, I'm just the guy that shows up, does a little play-by-play, collects my little check, and heads back to the beach.
There you go.
I don't have anything to do with the administration, but Brandon Dunn, the sports director at WPDE TV 15, schedules the games. Now, we're off next week, but then we have a flex game the last week of the regular season, so we don't know who we're going to do just yet in the last week. But yeah, I thought you'd enjoy a little call-in as the Fighting Phil Cornblutes came back from 2 scores down in the second half to win 17-14.
Well, we tip our cap to you and Brandon, the whole crew, man. That's fantastic. I'm glad you got a little taste of the garden spot of Dillon County. And watch your speed as you drive along the Cross Letta Expressway heading back to the beach there, because they're hiding everywhere. Hey, safe travels, and thanks for the report. Great job.
All right, Corn, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. How about those Vikings?
Unbelievable.
I told you.
I saw them in the Jamboree. Not that I'm an expert, but I saw them in the Dillon Jamboree play Chesterfield, and I think it was Chesterfield, and just wear them out. And I thought to myself, this Letta team looks like a real team. And their only loss was to Lamar in a close one at Lamar, at the Tommy Suggses. So the Raymond Feltons against the Tommy Suggses. How about that? We have a hot call. Thanks again to the bad boy, Alan Smothers. But we have a hot call. We all know what a hot call is. That is the one and only Billy Baker of the High School Sports Report. He's always at a big game on Friday night. Billy, welcome.
Phil, we're at South Florence High School. The Bruins tonight won their 23rd consecutive game. Drew Marlowe in his 4th year. They're now 8-0. I won't give you all the scoring because it was 42-0 South Florence, but Riley Jett, great name for a running back, goes 58 yards touchdown with 6:13 left in the first quarter to get things going. And then Brian McCart, one of 3 quarterbacks used by the Bruins, hit a 63-yard touchdown pass to Juan Fargas, and it's now 14-0 entering the second quarter. We went running clock with 1:31 left in the game. There was a slight skirmish in the stands. Never seen people just trying to exit a building so fast, but both coaches agreed to keep the game going, but the final score was 42-0, and I'm going to give you a very outstanding football coach who's won 23 games in a row. His last loss is to Beaufort High School in the 3rd round of the playoffs back in November 2021, and I'll be honest with you, Phil, I can't see anybody beating this team. They have depth at all positions. We all know about Adams, who has about 22 offers right now. The 6'5", 285-pound inside tackle, the junior. Some people think he's a top 5 national prospect. But I give you Drew Marlowe. We're sitting on a bench looking out at the field. He's Drew from South Florence High School.
I can't think of a better place to be. Coach?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me on.
Well, congratulations. 23 in a row. I know you don't keep up with that. You got people that do so. But, I mean, the job you and your staff have done at South Florence is absolutely amazing. Congratulations. And that was a red-hot Myrtle Beach team you beat tonight.
Yeah, they really were. They came in playing really well, and, glad to come out on top tonight.
Billy picked out some of the high points. What did you see from where you were on the sideline, some of the things about your team and what they did well?
We played really well on defense tonight. I thought that we were really physical and just played really sound, really on all 3 levels. I thought that our defense really dominated the game, and we had unbelievable field position in the first half. I think that we were starting around midfield about every drive. So they did a great job of putting the offense in position to be successful, and then we ran the ball well tonight. We threw it pretty decent, but was proud of how hard our kids played tonight and the physical nature with which they played.
You know, you won a state championship last year. You had a fantastic quarterback in Lenora Sellers, and if you had slipped a little bit this year, people I'm sure would have understood. Maybe not you and your staff, but I mean it's understandable when you lose really good players after a championship. But you guys haven't skipped a beat. What about on the offensive side? I know you got Sellers' brother. They're catching footballs. What have you done at the quarterback position?
Yeah, right now we're playing 3 guys, sometimes 4, but tonight we just played 3. We're trying to find our way still on offense. We really struggled early. Our defense carried us early this season, and we've just kind of gone to packaging up an offensive kind of system for each one of the 3 quarterbacks, and I think that makes us really hard to prepare for. There's a lot that defense have to prepare for, and I think that allows us to, gain some numbers advantages sometimes in the run game and stuff like that. So we're just trying to figure it out, man.
Well, I tell you, that's going to be one of the most unique approaches to an offense I think I've ever heard. I've heard of rotating 2, but nobody's ever rotated 3. I mean, you guys seriously will work in 3 different guys throughout the game because you're running different formations or you're running different schemes with each quarterback?
Yep, we are. We rotate quarterbacks, receivers, each one kind of majors in something every week, and we make sure that they can run it, very efficiently and at a high level, and just trying to keep defenses, off balance and give us a chance.
Well, you're doing a great job. Who do you have coming up next week?
Next week we'll be at home against North Myrtle Beach, and then we'll finish out the regular season at West Florence.
All right. Well, congratulations once again. Tremendous job all the way around what you've done with that team, that program. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you again.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate the coverage.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Coach Drew Marlowe. Thank you, Billy Baker, with the hot call. And Drew Marlowe from down South Florence, and they are indeed a red-hot football team. Okay. Back to more reports in a moment, but I must go over some of the final scores we have in because that's what you tune in for as well. So taking you quickly across the state, it is Belton Honeypath over Fountain Inn 56-7. Burns beat Dorman 28-26. Chester over Emerald 48-16. South Point 21. Indian Land 8. Abbeville 49. Landrum nothing. Greenville over Pickens, 52-7. I call this the Speedway game. Greenville Pickens. Greenville 52, Pickens 7. Do you get it? Greenville Pickens Speedway up there. Okay. Rock Hill 42, Nation Ford 21. Westside beat Greenwood 35-28. Clinton over Woodruff 36-13. And Northwestern handed York their first loss 56-14. In the Midlands, Midland Valley 56, Aiken 18, Andrew Jackson 47, Central 8, Bamberg Earhart 55, Bethune-Bowman nothing, Dutch Fork 41, Chapin 8, Crestwood 39, Darlington 12, Hampton County 64, Woodland nothing, Hunter Connor Tyler 36, Denmark Oler 6, Irmo 49, AC Flora 3, White Knoll wins the showdown with Lexington 16-0. Gilbert 48, Orangeburg Wilkinson 14, Ridgeview 40, Westwood nothing, South Aiken 38, Airport 15, and Fort Mill 21, Spring Valley 7. To the PD, Grand Strand, Carolina Forest 17, Sumter 14, Cheraw 20, North Central 6, Latta 17, Lakeview 14. Let that sink in for a moment. Lakewood 14, Marlboro County 8, Green Sea Floyd's 37, Mullins 22, and you just heard South Florence 42, Myrtle Beach nothing, Low Country, Bishop England 42, First Baptist nothing, Lucy Beckham 38, Hilton Head 10, Fort Dorchester 63, Stall nothing, and Timberland 41, Lake Marion nothing. Skiza finals, Cardinal Newman 38, Camden Military 14, Pinewood Prep 42, Hilton Head Prep 18. Faith Christian 52, Holy Trinity 16, Bethesda 40, Northside Christian nothing, Williamsburg Academy 24, Orangeburg Prep 7, and Florence Christian over Wilson Hall 28-14. All right, got to hit the first break. We'll come back with more reports. David Shelton is standing by. We'll bring David into the program as well. Get some more final scores for you also. The bad boy just texted me and said that Jaden Sellers is out for the season with an ACL. I didn't know that. Lenoris's brother, the wide receiver there in South Florence. Didn't realize that. Thank you, bad boy. Hit the break. Back in a moment.
Ask the coach about that. Had I known.
South Carolina's taste buds have spoken, and they're asking for
we'll
beef.
bring David on.
There are more than 7,800 farms raising
And
cattle
then,
from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with the family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at scattle.org. Beef. It's what's for dinner in South Carolina. Funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff Program.
Farm Bureau Insurance's agricultural roots and ties to South Carolina farmers have shaped the company's culture and work ethic, providing a unique customer experience. Customers are treated like people, not policies. Now, while other insurance companies may have a one-size-fits-all approach to handling customers, we believe you need to be valued and treated right. Our claims professionals work until the job is done, and our agents still believe in the commitment that comes with a handshake. Call Buddy Bridges in Clinton and Lawrence at 864-923-2174 for all of your auto, home, and life insurance needs.
Hello, friends. This is David Shelton, co-host of the Friday Night Scoreboard show with Phil Kornblue. As many of you know my story, I've lost 2 sons to drug overdoses in the past 10 years. I want to tell you about my friends at Wake Up Carolina. Wake Up Carolina is a nonprofit recovery community organization dedicated to providing awareness, promoting education, and creating hope in recovery for our young adults, individuals, and families touched by substance use through collaborative community partnerships, trusted resources, and support services in Berkeley, Charleston, and Dorchester counties. The organization relies on private donors and state funding to make sure all their resources are free and open to the public. Call them today if you know someone who needs assistance. That's wakeupcarolina.org. Phone number 843-972-8154.
Well, excuse me.
Don't wait until it's too late.
Investing can be like a puzzle. There's so many pieces to consider, and it can be hard to know where to start. But with the right guidance, you can put the pieces together to create a winning strategy. That's where Founders Investment Services come in. Our team of financial advisors can help you navigate the complexities of investing and create a personalized plan that fits your goals and risk tolerance. We'll work with you to identify the pieces of your puzzle and how they fit into your financial future. Call 866-739-7064 or visit foundersfcuinvestments.com to learn more about how we can help you take the first step towards reaching your financial goals. Securities offered through LPL Financial.
I'm not a big fan of non-SEC schools.
Don't get to play our new one. I feel I can find some other ones for the play. Our new bumper. Remember the Navy? Is that you or JP?
That was JP.
I think hopefully we added to the rotation. There might be another.
Okay. I'll look.
Back we are on High School Football Scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Correction, York was not undefeated. They had a previous loss. They were undefeated in the region, but now they have 2 losses after losing to Northwestern. Thank you, Danny, for pointing it out to us on our stream. I've always said the listeners are a lot smarter than I am, and I appreciate you pointing out the shortcomings whenever they happen. Here's a guy that never makes a mistake, David Shelton, from the High School Sports Report and the Charleston Post and Courier. Great to have you with us for this rest of the Friday night. You were at Goose Creek and Cane Bay. How'd that turn out?
It turned out Goose Creek winning 29-25. Really competitive game. Really kind of a back and forth type game. And tell you, Goose Creek's had a tradition of producing running backs. Demetri Simmons, Caleb Kinlaw. They've always had running backs, and they got another one coming. He's a sophomore, Malik McGowan, who's over 1,000 yards on the season. But tonight
the Gators really rode him, and I don't know his final stats, but it was about 30 carries for 275 yards against a pretty good Cane Bay defense. But this kid's only a sophomore. He's going to be really special. But the Gators, they played that really tough schedule early. They played Sumter and South Florence and Blythewood and Beaufort and Fort Dorchester, and they're only 3-5 on the season, but they are undefeated in the region and kind of set themselves up now with another win. They'll have at least a tie for the region championship for a 5th consecutive year. Last year they were 0-6, won their last 4 games and made the play, won the region. They are the team in the region, in Region 6, 5A. But they took some losses early, and I'm tell you what, the Gators play tonight. They started 7 sophomores and a freshman. They have 1 offensive lineman that played offensive line last year. They're on their 2nd or 3rd quarterback this year, and he's not a bad little player. They've lost their best receiver, but they just continue. Tonight they just said, we're going to run the football, and they ran it with McGowan, and if not for some holding penalties, he'd have been over 300 yards on the night.
All right, David, stand by. Let me give some other finals and get to some more reports, and then we'll have you break down some things. But a few more finals that have rolled in. It was Dillon over Manning, 47-22. That is Manning's first loss. Northwestern beat York 56-14. Ainer 38. Waccamaw 36. Lancaster 20, Catawba Ridge 13. I think that's the first win for Lancaster. Brooklyn Casey 41, Dreer 35. Northside Christian 38, Greenwood Christian 16. May River 35, Colleton County 16. Clinton 36, Woodruff 20. Fairfield Central 55, Columbia 6. Hammond 41, Trinity Collegiate 13. Barnwell 38, Ridgeland 24. Gaffney 17, Boiling Spring 7. Socastee beat Conway 27-21. See if Chris Bergen calls in tonight. Clover 24, Blythewood 7. Keenan 52, Eau Claire nothing. And we're up to date on all the finals we have in. So jump back to the phones. Appreciate all the reporters. Doug Holliday, voice of the Lawrence Raiders, with us next. And they took on the Generals of Wade Hampton. And how things turn out. Doug, good to have you with us.
Well, it was a bizarre evening, but turned out well for the Raiders. They went 23-13. First half, Wade Hampton goes down, scores, makes it 7-0. They control the ball. Raiders had 2 possessions in the first half, moved the ball well, but had 1 missed field goal and 1 blocked field goal. So it was 7-0 Wade Hampton at the house. Coming out of the locker room in the second half, Raiders received the second half kickoff, and Josh Goodwin, who had the big 73-yard touchdown reception to win the game last week at Riverside, he returns the second half kickoff 73 yards down to the Wade Hampton 13. Took 2 plays for the Raiders to stick it in. Their quarterback, Nick Danskew, ran it in, tied it up at 7. Raiders put 23 unanswered in that second half to go up 23-7. Wade Hampton scored late. And interesting story here, it was a flag fest. There were 25 accepted penalties. There were 7 declined penalties in the game. I actually made the joke on the air that I appreciated people buying tickets to the ref show tonight. We threw in a football game as a bonus.
Yeah.
But anyway, one of the strangest things I have ever seen, the Wade Hampton scored that touchdown late, went for 2. There was a couple of personal fouls, unsportsmanlike on Wade Hampton, an ineligible receiver downfield. They wound up attempting that 2-point conversion from their own 47-yard line.
Ooh, unbelievable!
Just strange stuff. But the Raiders come away with the win, 2-1 in the region now, second behind Greer, who probably has the driver's seat in Region 2 4A. And we started week 0, so we head to Eastside for our finale next Friday night. On a side note here, Phil, kind of an extra thrill for me tonight. The Raiders recognized the 1983 state championship team, and among those there, got to spend a minute with Buddy Jennings, who was the head coach then, and also in attendance tonight, was Jimmy Neal, who was an assistant for the Raiders back then. He was on the staff when I was broadcasting the Furman games in the national championship year. And then, of course, Coach Neal's a long-time successful head coach down at Camden. Great to get to spend a couple of minutes with two wonderful guys tonight.
Man, that is something big. Doug, thank you very much. Congratulations on the W. Talk to you next week.
Sounds great, Phil.
All right, buddy. Thank you very much. So Lauren's starting to get it together. David, hard to believe we got some teams going to be wrapping up regular season next week.
Yeah, with the week 0 stuff, a lot of them are getting their bye right before the playoff.
Yeah, tell you what, it's gone, like we always said, goes real quick. Lauren's getting that win tonight, and we'll be back after the break.
This is Ian with AccuClean. With the holiday season and gatherings with friends and family quickly approaching, now is the perfect time to get your carpets, rugs, and upholstery cleaned. AccuClean is a veteran-owned and local carpet cleaning company located in the Midlands for over 20 years. Call AccuClean today at 803-957-1202 to make sure your carpets are refreshed this holiday season. Once again, that's AccuClean at 803-957-1202. We hope to see you soon.
Maybe they'll call back. Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now. 800-380-4452. 800-380-4452. That's 800-380-4452. Offers required. Red qualifications. 24-month commitment.
I think it's in another file. You see another file
for details.
His colleagues ahead of a House floor vote, something Steve Scalise was unable to do when he pulled out yesterday. Lawmakers are having the weekend off to return to work Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, I have that.
SRN News.
That's the one file.
The United States Constitution guarantees every American fundamental rights and protection of life, liberty, and property. Salem is celebrating our founding document with a special offer, a 1953 Oman U.S. Constitution lithograph. To understand the value of these lithographs is to know the story. A master lithographer immigrant named Theodore Oman came to this country to find the American dream. 70 years ago, in 1953, Oman printed a limited number of these exceptional Constitution lithographs. Go to SalemEventsStore.com to read Oman's entire story. America's most important document stands as a testament to all Americans to maintain their liberties, freedoms, and inalienable rights. Buy it and display it proudly. Buy a gift for your family and friends, and for all the teachers in your community.
Hey everybody, I'm David Jolly of the Higgins and Halloran Insurance Group. When you think about insurance, I ask that you think of me. I'm homegrown in the Midlands. I live in Lexington. I'm a lifelong learner, teacher, coach, and friend. There are many insurance agencies out there, and there's even more agents. How am I different? I served 20 plus years as a coach and teacher. I'll help you understand. I've done this for a long time. I've been there for folks during horrible times in their life. It's not easy, but it's when I can help them. I'll explain the right insurance coverage, and I'll try to sell it to you. Best of all, I'm an independent insurance agent. I want to be your trusted insurance advisor. I have no quotas to fill. I work for you, and I'll find you the best and most affordable coverage to fully protect you, your family, and your business. I'm always available to my clients, who I get to know as friends. I can help with personal insurance, like your homes, vehicles, boats, your commercial, for business owners. And it doesn't matter how big or small your company is. I want to help. So when you think about insurance, think of me, David Jolly, the Higgins and Halloran Insurance Group. Online at HigginsandHalloran.com, or give me a call at 803-850-0050.
Fran Halloran here. Now listen closely to what I'm about to say. I'm a business owner, and many of you listening right now, you're business owners as well. The first rule in owning a business is this: don't waste money. I see business owners waste their marketing dollars all the time. Not me. I figured out a long time ago that spending my marketing dollars at the point was not only intentional, but extremely profitable as well. If you're a small business owner, you owe it to yourself to sit down with Kevin Cohen and ask him to create a custom marketing plan for your business. He's looking for folks just like you who believe in local to partner with him in 2023 and beyond. trust me when I tell you, partnering with The Point works. You will see results, and your marketing budget will no longer be wasted. Give Kev a call at 803-563-8558 and tell him the Money Coach sent you.
Can your IRA stand up to the next financial crisis that our top economists are saying is at our doorsteps? By allocating a percentage of your IRA into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns by putting your IRA back on the gold standard. Find out how to safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report. Protect your IRA today with one simple phone call and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. Call Genesis Gold Group, empowering faith-driven stewardship. 800-590-6470. 800-590-6470. 800-590-6470. That's 800-590-6470.
Welcome back, everybody. High school football scoreboard brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Here on the Sports Talk Media Network, more finals. Cardinal Newman 38, Camden Military 14, Andrews 35, Kingstree 14, Chester 48, Emerald 16, Richland Northeast, another big offensive night. What did they score last week? 73. They had 48 tonight, 48-21 over Lugoff Elgin, 96-56. Liberty 39. David, I wonder if 96 has ever scored 96.
I'm going to go check it out.
Investigate that. They're only 40 off tonight. 96 had 56, and Liberty had 39. Walhalla 37, West Oak 6, Easley 63, Berea 37, Daniel 42, Seneca 3, Loris 31, Georgetown 7, Whitmire 44, Wilson Elko 20, and Lamar over Hannah Pamplico 48-20, Dillon 47, Manning 22. I think we're up to date on the finals that we have in to this point. So let's get back out to our reporters in the field. Appreciate the guys hanging in there with us, being patient. We go to Sam on hand for the Bishop England game tonight down there in the Low Country. Sam, looks like your guys got a W tonight.
Well, I got to tell you, I was just really pleased how we ended up tonight. I think I saw a great execution with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I was not at the game tonight, but I got some parts and pieces what my high school has done throughout the years when I was first graduated, 2011. We did really well that year. And I was really pleased coming in for 2023 season. So I thought you were saying it was the first win ever this year. Is that correct?
For who? First win for who?
Bishop England.
Is it their first win? I'd have to check my stats and see, but I'll take your word for it if that's what you're saying. David, is this Bishop England's first win of the season?
Yes, it is.
No, there you go.
Well, actually, just in case you guys know that I was not on the 6 o'clock. I was not at 6:30 with you guys in Sports Talk tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Just a brief update. The college Charleston has their regular schedule out right now. And what is your perspective on how it's going to work this year? This is my 13th year helping them this year.
Yeah, I tell you what, Sam, and thanks for the call. We'll pick that up on Sports Talk Monday night because this is about high school football. And we'll talk about College of Charleston basketball Monday night or during the week as we get into basketball. But thanks very much. Appreciate the update. Yeah, Bishop England with their win tonight, 1-6 and 1-2 in Region 7AA. David, wasn't too many years ago, Bishop England was winning a bunch of championships. What happened?
It was about 10 years ago when they had two divisions in AA, and they just they've never had great football players. They've always had kids that played hard and stuff like that, but they were never at the level of the Christ Church and the St. Joe's and people like that. A lot of people, say Bishop England recruits. Well, they're not doing a very good job of recruiting if that's what they're doing. But they've run into a couple of years with just very few athletes, and one year they had a lot of injuries. And, football's not as big a deal as it used to be there. But they're really good in some other sports. But good win for them tonight. That was one they needed. You hate to see anybody struggle to not have success, and so they got what they needed tonight.
All right, very good. Let's go back to the phones, and we have Thomas Grant from Prep Zone, South Carolina, and he was at a good one tonight. It was White Knoll in Lexington, and White Knoll, Thomas, White Knoll continues to impress. A nice win tonight, big rivalry game, and they stay undefeated.
Yes, definitely. Tonight it was actually, you could say, a game for the region title. Both teams came in undefeated in region play. White Knoll was trying to end the losing streak with Lexington, and they just came out, and this was a real physical, low-scoring affair, and won 16-0 by White Knoll. Basically, the game came down to just the play of that defensive line. White Knoll, they really pressured Caden Mize all game long. They forced him into two of their 4 turnovers. They also had about 3 sacks. They held Lexington in total to just 73 total yards. Ooh. And a lot of that was from the pressure up front. I mean, you had guys like Jaden Campbell, who was going to the Shrine Bowl. You had Domenico Banks, but really was a guy named Nikin Ayunga on that defensive line who was really in Caden's jersey almost really the entire night. And the only 2 touchdowns that White Knoll had tonight, both came from quarterback Landon Sharp. He threw a touchdown pass to Austin Cunningham, who's just playing his second game after he got injured in week 0. And then Sharp had a 1-yard run in the first half. It was 13-0 at the half. The only score in the second half came on a field goal by Jordy Aguilera. Because, to Lexington's credit, their defense also was really feisty tonight. They held White Knoll to about at least 200 total yards. They were getting solid plays from guys like their linebacking core, in particular with Mac McCauley, Christian Sexton, and Montrell Bird. The problem was they just were not able to score against this defense that Coach Nicholas Pelham has put together. You look at it, he took over a program that was winless 3 years ago, and now he has them officially clinching a share of their first region title since 2014.
What a job. What a tremendous turnaround job that has been. Thomas, thank you very much. Always appreciate the report. Have a great weekend.
But one quick thing I wanted to ask y'all. Notice tonight, with White Knoll winning tonight, with Gilbert winning, and also Irmo, you have 3 teams who are still undefeated. Is there any other county in this Lexington County? Is there any other county you know of in the state that has 3 or more undefeated teams?
David Shelton, any idea on that?
I'm running it through my brain real quick, and I don't. Nothing comes to mind because the list of undefeated teams is decreasing. Dorchester County's got Ashley Ridge, Fort, and Somerville, but they've lost. Somerville hasn't, but they might be. That might be the only county with 3 undefeated teams. Just off the top of my head, I can't think of another one.
All right, Thomas. Thank you very much, sir. Great job. Appreciate the report. Thomas Grant. Story there on White Knoll. David, what about this White Knoll team? We've seen them from early in the year show some stuff, and they're not backing down now, and they're taking on all comers and they're beating them.
Yeah, they're gonna go as far as their defense takes them. Offensively, they get enough points to win. They didn't. They beat Dutch Fork last week with 17 points, and they win tonight with 16 points. with their defense post shutout. In the playoffs, that could be tough for them if they can't manage to score some points. But I'll tell you what, on defense, man, they don't give up. They don't give up anything. They're very good on defense.
Okay, got a few more finals that have just come in, so let's give you those. Then we'll get back to our reporters. Riverside beat Eastside 41-20. Ridgeview shut out Westwood 40-0. Mac beat 29. C.A. Johnson 12. It was Lawrence Manning 35. Augusta Christian 10. Wagner Sally 52. Ridge Spring Minetta 30. Marion 34. Lee Central 6. Bamberg Earhart 55, Bethune Bowman nothing, Abbeville 49, Landrum nothing, Chesterfield 34, Buford 21, Goose Creek 29, Cane Bay 25, James Island 31, Bluffton 12, Chapman 56, Travelers Rest nothing, Hanahan 49, Battery Creek 13. How about this one? TL Hanna 36, Hillcrest 33. Boy, that one lived up to the billing. J.L. Mann 55, Malden 6, Rin 39, Palmetto 7, Northwood Academy 52, John Paul II 18, Calhoun Academy, make that Calhoun County 34, Blackville Hilda 7, Pinewood Prep 42, Hilton Head Prep 18, Jefferson Davis 28, Andrew Jackson Academy nothing, Cardinal Newman 38, Camden Military 14, Andrews over King Street 35-14, and Chester 48, Emerald 16. I think we've run through the new finals there. So back to our guys out in the fields. And Justin Mathis, Chapman and Travelers Rest tonight. And Justin, it was all Panthers over the Devil Dogs. Take a Panther over a Devil Dog.
Yeah, that's right, Phil. Yeah, also bye week. Chapman, look, it took them a little bit to kind of find their rhythm coming off of their bye week. But they're midway through the first quarter, they kind of found their groove, and they did a lot of the damage tonight with the ground attack. And it started with Matthias Scott, the senior running back, who has worked his way up the ranks in his time with the program. He had a night. I'm not sure these are career highs or whatnot, but I had him at 9 carries for 148 yards, 3 touchdowns, including a 84-yard run to get things going for the Panthers in that first quarter. Was it in the old poem about Paul Revere, 1 by land, 2 by sea, I think? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the Panthers had 5 rushing touchdowns as a unit, as Keanu Na also found the end zone with 62 yards rushing, and Taylor Dunning also scored his second touchdown of the season for the Panthers. But all in all, great night. Coleman Gray, 11 of 18 passing for 173 yards, 2 touchdowns. And also Bennett Smith had a solid night, 2 catches for 77 yards and a score. But all in all, Chapman posted their second shutout in Region 3 3A action. Good night on homecoming at Panther Stadium.
Great way to treat the fans. So the big homecoming win like that. Justin, thanks very much, man. Have a great weekend. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Talk to you again. Okay, Justin Mathis story on the big win by Chapman. And let's get to Monty Dutton on the Clinton at Woodruff game. And always, longtime bitter rivals going back many decades. Lot of great stories, a lot of great games between these two. Monty, Red Devils too much tonight for the Wolverines, 36-20. They win it on the road tonight.
I think this will be good for Clinton because they played it drizzled the whole game and it rained steadily for the second half. So the conditions were not good, and it probably did Clinton a lot of good to play a game like that. The Red Devils fell behind 7-0 early on a quick touchdown pass from from T.J. Morris to Cam Taylor. Red Devils bounced back, and Zay Johnson, the defensive back who was headed to Cincinnati, had a 37-yard touchdown reception and also intercepted a pass on defense. This was the 4th consecutive fantastic game for Clinton's linebacker, tight end, and Wildcat quarterback, Caden Crawford, who has really been just he's won the County Player of the Week the last 2 weeks coming into this one. And I think that if Clinton had run nothing but Wildcat plays in the second half, they would have probably scored 4 touchdowns because they were just bone-crushingly relentless. Woodruff had nothing for it. But the Wolverines are pretty potent offensively. Clinton had 391 yards to Woodruff's 300. And predictably, I guess maybe not in past Woodruff teams, but Clinton rushed for 281 and passed for 110. Woodruff passed for 270 and rushed for 30 yards and 24 carries. So Woodruff was not balanced, and that's probably the biggest difference. But Woodruff scored a late touchdown with less than a minute to play to make it 36-20. But Clinton pretty much, Clinton as always was very balanced on the rushing. DJ Clark had 88 yards, Caden Crawford 59, Keshawn Richardson, the quarterback, 55, Javen Cook 42. Richardson, who passes well but not often, was 5 of 8 for 110 yards and a touchdown. And all eyes now turn to next week when Chester visits Wilder Stadium, which is going to be in a really electric atmosphere, probably quite similar to the 22-21 Chapman victory about a month ago. So Clinton has Chester and Emerald, and so left. And so next week's game is pretty much the region championship game, and Chester is obviously a very fine team. But Clinton has a good one, and Clinton is getting help here. They held out one guy who could have played tonight to save him, but they had several weeks ago they had 3 linebackers out and 2 defensive backs, and their defense was very much crippled. That is no longer the case, I don't think. So Clinton lost the 2 leading returning rushers from last year early in the season, but this is sort of something you probably don't hear a lot, but Clinton's JV team has won 43 consecutive games. And that's one of the reasons that Clinton was able to come have a pretty good team this year. They're now 6-2 and 6-2, but they had a pretty good team because of that. So many guys, it's very much of a feeder program. Guys are coming up, and Clinton's offensive line, by the way, has no seniors on it, and so that bodes well for the future of Clinton next year. But it was just another win, and I think it was good for Clinton to play in the rain, but it sure wasn't good for me.
All right, Monty, thank you, sir. Great job as always. Look forward to that big one next week. Monty Dutton with the story of the Clinton Red Devils win tonight. We appreciate that. Run to a break, and we'll come back with more of your reports as we go to break. Give you some more finals. Johnsonville 31, East Clarendon 21, Lower Richland 49, Swansea 7, Hilton Head Christian 38, PD nothing. Thomas Hayward 41, Buford Academy 28, Batesburg Leesville 42, Fox Creek 14, Riverside 41, Eastside 20, Ridgeview 40, Westwood nothing, and we'll be back.
Looking for a way to fight back against inflation? One viable way to help your money stay relevant during inflation is through investing. To a new investor, investing can feel like a puzzle. With so many pieces to consider, it can be hard to know where to start. But with the right guidance along the way, you can put the pieces together to create a winning strategy. That's where Founders Investment Services come in. Our team of financial advisors can help you navigate the complexities of investing and create a personalized plan that fits your goals and risk tolerance. We'll work with you to identify the pieces of your puzzle and how they fit into your financial future. When you're ready to find the pieces to your financial plan, call 866-739-7064 to speak with one of our specialists, or visit foundersfcuinvestments.com to learn about how we can help you identify the key pieces to your financial plans. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC, and not NCUA insured. Not guaranteed by credit union and may lose value.
Touchstone Energy Cooperative members save more on electricity, and members save more on insurance, groceries, healthcare, restaurants, travel, concerts, and sporting events through Co-op Connections. Touchstone Energy is an alliance of the member-owned electric cooperatives, and as a member, the power is yours. Experience the power of Co-op membership with Touchstone Energy and find out how much you can save on electricity and a whole lot more
to make sure I don't want to put somebody on. I don't want to go through that again.
Your home is where your memories live. It's where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
Hey, can you hear me?
Learn more at scfbins.com.
Call me, Alex Satterfield, at
High School Scoreboard Show. Can you hear me?
749-9171
Hello?
for all of your Midlands
Hello,
insurance needs.
Yes, I can. All right, thank you. I think we should be good. I'm not sure what's going on, but we should be good.
All right, let's get back to more reporters calling us in from games across the state tonight. And we go to Bruce McNeil, Sumter and Carolina Forest tonight, playing down there outside of between Conway and Myrtle Beach. Hello, Bruce. Tough night for the Gamecocks. Carolina Forest gets the win.
Yeah, a big win for them tonight, Phil. Really an incredible game. Really a good one for the fans. A senior night for Carolina Forest. It's the first win over Sumter since 2011 and only their second overall. It's their first win on their home field this year. And really their senior quarterback, Ethan Hamilton, kind of willed his team to win this game. They got the go-ahead score with 19 seconds left. Khalil Johnson on a 6-yard touchdown run. The game was there for Sumter. It was really Carolina Forest jumped out, opening drive, 80 yards, 10 minutes and 2 seconds, and got a touchdown. It was Johnson from 1 yard out. Sumter was able to come back and didn't score on their first drive, but then answered, and they got a score after the field goal by Chaddick and put up Forest by 3 more.
Can I have you check up and call me back
Peoples got
immediately?
the first of his 2 touchdowns, and now he's up to 19.
Thank you very much.
And they got within 3 at the half, and they had an opportunity to kick a field goal on one of their next drives, decided to go for it on 4th and about 3 at the 5, and didn't get it, and so they still were down 3 going to half. They got the ball back and started the third quarter. Started, didn't do too well, then came back in the next series and got a touchdown. People put them in the lead, and the defense suddenly figured it out. I mean, it was pretty much a dominant run game all night, and they had 4 straight 3-and-outs against Carolina Forest from about the middle of the third quarter to about the middle of the fourth. But Sumter wasn't able to do anything with any of those. They would drive and get stalled out. They had a lot of penalties, Phil. It's been a problem all season. They probably had over 100 yards, I would guess, in penalties tonight, and I don't think they ever got a first down after a penalty on any of their series, and just could not get the score to go up by 2, and ended up trying a 47-yarder on the final play of the game to tie. Creveco's kick had the distance and just tailed left a little bit at the end. He was hitting 48s and 50s in warm-ups without a snap, without a rush, but just too many missed opportunities. Sumter was +3 in the turnovers, only got 7 points off turnovers. Just could not get their offense to finish a drive and put it out of reach. And Hamilton just willed his team to win with some clutch runs in the last 3 minutes. They were like 3rd and 15 and 3rd and 14, and he would scramble and break contain and get the first downs. And you just saw a desire to win that was just lifting that whole team.
How much time was left on that last field goal attempt?
It was with 1 second on the clock.
So right down to the very end, huh?
Yeah, the winning touchdown came with 19 seconds, and really instead of calling a fair catch at the kickoff, they returned it, used up about probably 6 or 7 seconds right there, and then Pete Merchant scrambled on a long play and ran and got out of bounds. Then they tried a quick sideline pass and got that in with like 1 second left. And just trying to get close enough, and he hit it well. There was a little bit of a wind that might have affected it, but it didn't have that nice end-over-end catapulting action that you need to carry a longer kick. So really, Carolina Forest now is in the driver's seat in Region 5.
Bruce, thanks very much, man. Appreciate it. Have yourself a great weekend. So Carolina Forest gets a big win, David. Big win for the Panthers over the Sumter Gamecocks, and as Bruce pointed out, their first home win. And You don't beat Sumter all that often, so that's a terrific win for them.
Yeah, they've had some close losses too. I remember the Oceanside Collegiate game. I think Oceanside went 99 yards in 6 minutes and beat them at the end. Ashley Ridge beat them late. Somerville beat them early in the first game of the year in a very close game. Really, the closest game Somerville's had. So, but Carolina Forest is a quality team, and that's a win they needed because they needed to beat a good team to kind of solidify themselves.
All right, break is coming up here at the top of the hour. Those of you who are holding on, please do so. We'll come right back to you after the break. Kevin Selman, can't wait to hear from him. The story on Hannah's win tonight over Hillcrest. What a game that was. And we've got Wayne Gray from the Myrtle Beach side of things on that game with South Florence. So you guys hold on, and we'll get other reports on and more from David and recap all the scores as well. As we hit the top of the hour, it's 11 o'clock here in South Carolina. You're listening to the Founders Federal Credit Union High School Football Scoreboard on the Sports Talk Media Network.
Somebody dropped
Local in the morning, afternoon, and evening. Columbia's local talk radio experience. 107 The Point. MakeThePointRadio.com. The Point. The Point.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Ron DeRockstra. Israel's defense forces are beginning to shell parts of northern Gaza as ground troops and equipment are beginning to cross the border into some limited raids early morning on the seventh day of the war with Hamas. Yesterday, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was in Israel meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu, telling him that the U.S. stands with him and his government in the war, and he drew a comparison between Hamas and another terrorist group.
As a former commander of Central Command, the deliberate cruelty of Hamas vividly reminds me of ISIS. Bloodthirsty, fanatical, and hateful.
Speaking with the Salem Radio Network earlier this week, Alaska Republican Senator Dan Sullivan, who's a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee, said Israel is justified in mounting their ground assault inside Gaza despite the likelihood of civilian casualties.
There are so many differentiating elements here, but one of them is they go after the terrorist extremists, they go after civilians. Western democracies like us and the Israelis don't, and people need to remember that. But yes, this is a just war.
House Republicans nominate Judiciary Chair Jim Jordan to be their next speaker. Oklahoma Congressman Kevin Hearn told reporters that Republicans are going to come back next week, hopefully close to a consensus.
In the secret ballot, 55 said they would
I just like Dion a lot.
He's asked everybody to come forward over the next few days, and right now it looks like we're going to readjourn and vote on Tuesday.
Steve Scalise was nominated on Wednesday, but after failing to get enough support to win a 4 vote, the Louisiana Republican dropped out yesterday. Jim Jordan's going to have to go through the same process. Republican infighting has left the House paralyzed for the last 11 days. News and analysis at townhall.com.
This decade may be the worst one yet to retire in. That's why you need the most current retirement information. For more than 30 years, Bob Carlson has been helping investors stay ahead of turbulent markets and money-grubbing politicians. Now, more than ever, you need to subscribe to Bob Carlson's Retirement Watch. Bob makes sure his Retirement Watch readers are getting independent advice on all aspects of retirement. It's advice you won't get anywhere else. When you subscribe to Retirement Watch, you'll get 12 months of the newsletter. You'll also get 5 model portfolios. Plus, you'll get immediate access to the Retirement Watch private website with tons of special reports. You'll also get an online spending calculator to help you deal with inflation. Plus, exclusive conference calls with Bob Carlson, answering your retirement questions live, all for as little as $49.95. Try it for 30 days, and if you're not satisfied, cancel and we'll refund your money. Sound fair? Sign up today at retirementelders.com. Retirementelders.com. That's retirementelders.com.
Academy. I'm going through all the things I have.
Kim Jong-un is sticking his nose in Russia's war with Ukraine.
Our information indicates that in recent weeks, North Korea has provided Russia with more than 1,000 containers of military equipment and munitions. Today, we are releasing imagery showing the movement of these containers from the DPRK into Russia by ship.
National Security Council spokesman John Kirby says Pyongyang is seeking Russia's aid in exchange.
In return for support, we assess that Pyongyang is seeking military assistance from Russia, including fighter aircraft, surface-to-air missiles, armored vehicles, ballistic missile production equipment, or other materials and other advanced technologies.
Speculation about a possible North Korean plan to refill Russia's munition stores flared last month when North Korean leader Kim Jong-un traveled to Russia to meet with President Putin and visit some key military sites. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com.
Exact same one you're doing.
As an organ donor, your story doesn't have to end. The good in you can live on. In fact, you could save up to 8 lives and restore sight and health for many more. Sign up right now online as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. You'll be happy you did, because maybe someone else will be happy too. Go to organdonor.gov. It saves lives. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
Okay, men, time to be an all-star caregiver. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments, be there emotionally and physically. Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find care guides at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This is the Founders Federal High School Football Scoreboard on the Sports Talk Media Network. Coming up, scores and reports from across the state and analysis from David Shelton. The Scoreboard is brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now your host for the High School Scoreboard, Phil Kornblut.
And we're back. Hour number 2 of the High School Football Scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Phil Kornblut, Josh Cohen here in downtown Columbia. David Shelton down in the Low Country tonight. And we got folks standing by ready to give us results from their games tonight, played across South Carolina. And we'll give you a complete rundown. Got almost all the scores in, so we'll give you a complete rundown of the scoreboard here in just a moment. But let's pick up where we left off. We appreciate your patience. Man, one of the big games tonight, maybe the best game tonight. T.L. Hanna and Hillcrest, 2 powerhouses in the upstate. Yellow Jackets winning over the Rams by 3, 36-33. Kevin Selman, the voice of T.L. Hanna, joining us to tell us more. Hello, Kevin.
Hey, Phil. How you doing tonight?
We're doing fine, sir. Good to have you with us.
Well, thank you for having me. I tell you, the final score was T.L. Hanna 36, Hillcrest 33. But you know, they say the biggest equalizer in sports, or football anyway, is the turnover. The game that was really dominated by the Yellow Jackets tonight, but 4 T.L. Hanna turnovers made it too close for comfort. But in the end, the Yellow Jackets were able to hang on and defeat the Rams tonight and win the Region 1 5A title.
How many years in a row for that?
Oh, at least 2. I think Hillcrest won it 3 years ago, but I know that's at least 2 in a row.
Yeah. So how'd they do it? Run. They mix a little pass in. What'd they do?
Well, I know you're going to be disappointed, Phil, but I believe this is the first time all year long that the Yellow Jackets have not reached the 400-yard mark rushing the football. Coming into the game tonight, we were averaging over 9 yards a carry on the season. But tonight, the Yellow Jackets were only able to rush it 61 times for 387 yards. We got close, but didn't get the 400 mark. 5 touchdowns. We also threw the ball 4 times, completed 3 for 62 yards.
I tell you, your pass game coordinator, he's got to be very, very angry at the head coach.
Well, listen, I'm going to tell you who our pass game coordinator was tonight. Not just kidding, but we did have a special guest in the broadcast with us tonight. One of our regulars was out, so former T.L. Hanna AD and longtime AD at Landrum and coach at Landrum, a Hall of Famer John Cann was on the radio with us tonight, and he said to make sure to tell you hello.
Well, hello back at him, and I know he did a fantastic job.
He did a great job providing color tonight and telling our folks back listening all about the game. But all in all, a big win for the Yellow Jackets, wrapped up another region championship. And we finish out the regular season next week with a home game against Woodmont, which it doesn't really matter what happens in that game. We've already won the region, locked up the first place in the in the playoffs for the upstate. And so then after that, we'll have a bye week while everybody else is playing their 10th game of the year. So that kind of works out good. We'll get a bye week before the playoffs start.
Tell you what about a year in Anderson, the city, for football, man? I mean, between Hannah and Westside, pretty good football this year.
Absolutely. As I started off this call, the turnover is the biggest equalizer in sports. Makes me think back to the Westside game, our only loss on the year, where we didn't punt all night long, but we turned it over twice, and Westside didn't, and we lost that game. But, it's been a problem for the Jackets this year, but they've been able to overcome in every game except that Westside game. So,
okay, well, listen, man, take solace, as I have, with the fact that the Rays and the Orioles won as many postseason games as the Yankees and the Red Sox, okay? So I feel good about that.
How about that? How about that? Who would have thunk that, right?
Well, not me, not the way those teams were playing going in, but you got to find something to hang your hat on. So that's it for Yankee fans and Red Sox fans.
That's right. One thing we can agree on.
I think if you're going to get swept in the baseball playoffs, you might as well just stay home and not even go. That's just my humble opinion.
That sounds about right to me.
Okay, buddy. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Phil.
All right. Thank you, David Shelton. I know we say it almost every time we hear from Kevin and we talk about Hannah, but I'm just amazed. I mean, if you're the defensive coordinator on the other side, you can put, 8, 9 in the box? Because they're just going to line up and run it on you. But I guess that's easier said than done.
Well, I mean, they block it very well, and they have a lot of guys at their line of scrimmage in their backs and stuff. So everybody blocks. And you got to tackle. I mean, Cane Bay runs a very similar offense that I saw tonight, and Goose Creek had a couple of stops, and that was it. Cane Bay had they had well over 200 yards rushing, but a couple of stops by Goose Creek was the difference in that game. And their defense again. I've said it for a few weeks now. Hannah's defense is not as dominant as maybe they've been in the past. They do give up some yards and some points. So they got to count on that offense, producing. And if they don't turn it over, they're very tough to beat. I mean, I found it comical that Kevin said they only had 387 yards rushing.
Yeah.
I know teams that haven't had that in the whole season.
I know. Well, I think he was hitting the point that they came up short of 400, but not by that much. They were right there, knocking on the door. All right. Thank you, Kevin, for that. Let's go to Wayne Gray. Has another Saturday off. No. This is Wayne Gray. I'm thinking, where is Lane Harris? Wait a minute. I'm confused. We're stepping up. We're stepping up in class here. I'm sorry. Wayne Gray, welcome in. How are you, sir?
I'm great, Phil. Thank you for allowing me to be on. I'm actually riding in the car with Lane. he was driving and eating a double from Wendy's. He wanted me to call in and speak with you. But he's going to get 2 Saturdays off.
Yes.
With Coastal being off, that's that big win for them Tuesday night.
Absolutely. And I guess, offensively tonight, you were off as well because you didn't score any points from Myrtle Beach.
We didn't score any points. We didn't do much offense at all. We ran into, why we know South Florence is ranked number 1 in 4A, a juggernaut. That's their 23rd straight win, I believe, going back to the being 15-0 last year. And they dominated the game in every facet. They run power and they run counter. They've got several running backs that come at you. And just for an example, they had big plays. They scored on a 54-yard run, a 64-yard pass. They had 320 yards rushing, 169 yards passing for just under 500 yards in total offense throughout the first 3 quarters. It was a running clock in the fourth quarter. And Gibson Goodrow, who was a junior quarterback for Myrtle Beach, has played well for us. Hadn't played football since he was in the 8th grade. Went out early with concussion protocol. That completely changed and took the win out of whatever sale. But Myrtle Beach just didn't match the intensity and the aggressiveness and the dominance that South Florence likes to play with. Kudos to them. Coach Wilson, we've done a great job. We got beat and Camden heavily in the first game with 5 turnovers, and we turn around and rattled off 6 wins with 2 big wins against West Florence and Hartsville last week. But just getting on the road, going to South Florence, it was their homecoming. They wanted to show why they are number 1, and they did.
Yeah.
So, we'll regroup and get back at it next week as we host Wilson and North Myrtle Beach to finish out the region. And we have a chance to finish number 2 in the region with 2 wins, and that'll guarantee us at least 1 playoff game at home.
Yeah. Well, listen, 2 losses right now. I know the first. I'm trying to remember who beat you in the opener because we were
it was Camden.
Oh yeah. Well, listen, you lose to Camden, you lose to South Florence. I mean, that's nothing to be ashamed of. 2 great football teams. 2 great football teams there.
2 good football teams that have had several great years over the last few years. They both physical teams, which is something we don't have a real physical team. We have to play complete defensive unit, not turn the ball over. And Malachi Washington, our running back, he's been a little banged up and hadn't been 100% the last couple of weeks. So all of that together, we just couldn't muster anything. But Coach Wilson was gracious in the loss and disappointed and said, "Hey, we'll regroup, get right back after it." And that's what the Seahawks do.
Hey, man, quick shout out to River Oaks. Wonderful links.
Oh, great. Thank you very much. Yeah, course is in great shape. Great location right there off of Highway 501 along the Intracoastal Waterway. So, and golf is, regrouping and rebounding a little bit. Play has been good the last couple of years since they post-COVID.
Yeah, absolutely. It's our go-to place. So I just wanted to tell you, man, we love it. It's a fun course to play.
It is that. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Wayne. Good talking to you.
Okay.
Take care. Tell Lane we said hello and hang in there. Don't choke on that. Don't choke on that double.
Double. That's right. We'll see you North-South week.
Yes, sir. Look forward to it. As always.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Wayne, great, from down there in Myrtle Beach. And let's see. Let's go ahead and get to, before we hit the break, we've cleared the board, haven't we? Oh, no. Now let's go to Dennis. Dennis Brunson. He was at another good one tonight. Dillon and Manning. Manning was undefeated coming in. They were probably thinking this is their chance to get Dillon, which had 1 loss coming in. But, Dennis, it wasn't to be. And the Wildcats 47-22 spanked them pretty good.
Well, Phil, it was actually 19-14 Dillon at halftime. Manning took the second half kickoff and went down and scored to make it 22-19. And then Dillon came back, made it 26-22. They scored. Then Manning muffed the kickoff. Kid named Jamari Wilson, who's great kickoff returner for the Monarchs. Had three kick returns this year for touchdowns. He muffed the kick. Dillon recovered, stuck it in the end zone. They made it 33-22. And then Manning, they went for it on 4th down on their side of the field, came up short, and Dillon put it in the end zone again, and that really broke it open. It was 40-22 at that point. But I mean, it was back and forth, through midway through the 3rd quarter. So Manning did a good job with them, but they made that mistake, and that just turned the momentum. And Dillon behind that big old offensive line of theirs, led by Josiah Big Cat Thompson, and with Jamari and Fling, the running back, they just kept pounding and came away with the victory. Fling finished with, on my count, 189 rushing yards on 36 carries, and then also had a big 32-yard reception that set up one of those 3rd quarter touchdowns. And Dillon looked pretty good. Manning, I think, showed itself well. They had too many turnovers that hurt them immensely. They had 4 turnovers, but they hung in the game with Dillon, and that was one of the things that you wondered about going in, because Manning has not played the most difficult schedule through those first 7 games, but they showed they could put up some points, which I think that, to me, that was what needed to be shown more than anything, was that their offense could do something against a pretty good defense, which Dillon does have. And the quarterback for Dillon, Josiah Oxendine, threw a couple of touchdown passes, and defensive back Zamarius Robertson returned an interception, 52 yards for a score. That was on Dillon's second score of the game. Put him up 13-6 at that point. But Dillon's still Dillon. That pretty much wrapped up the region for them. They've got a couple left, but I mean, it would be a huge shock if they don't put those in the W column. And that was their 60th win in their last 61 region games. They've won not counting this year. They've won region titles 13 in the last 14 years. And I think that makes them 16 region wins in a row. They made a mistake and lost to Ainer in 2019, but then they ended up playing for state championships. So, Dillon's still pretty doggone strong.
That's called domination. Dennis, thank you very much, man. We appreciate that. Good win, of course, for Dillon. David, what's your early take on the Oxendine kid, the quarterback there at Dillon in the 26 class? He's going to visit Tennessee tomorrow. He's got some good offers. Is this guy going to be the guy in the state come 26?
I think he'll be one of them. I've heard mixed reviews from just talking to some different coaches. They think he's got some maturation to do, both physically and mentally, but he does have a good arm, and he does. And playing for Kevin Roller, he's going to learn to play quarterback. He's going to get all the fundamentals and correct. And I don't like pushing kids so young. Mm-hmm. Or we know how this can work out. We've seen guys as freshmen and sophomores, and then seniors. They're looking for offers, but I think this kid has the potential to be. From everyone that I've talked to, he certainly has the potential to be one of the better guys in the 26 class.
And by then, he'll be signing for about, $250,000 and a Mercedes when he shows up as a freshman.
Absolutely.
All right, hang on. We got to go to a break. We'll come back with more, and then we're going to go through the scoreboard and let David share his thoughts on some of the games tonight, including, of course, David, stand by. You're going to have to analyze the Latta win over Lakeview. That's right. It was televised. Not only that, it was televised on the Alan Smothers WPDE network there in the PD. So big night in the old hot town of Latta. Back in a moment.
Investing can be like a puzzle. There's so many pieces to consider, and it can be hard to know where to start. But with the right guidance, you can put the pieces together to create a winning strategy. That's where Founders Investment Services come in. Our team of financial advisors can help you navigate the complexities of investing and create a personalized plan that fits your goals and risk tolerance. We'll work with you to identify the pieces of your puzzle and how they fit into your financial future. Call 866-739-7064 or visit foundersfcuinvestments.com to learn more about how we can help you take the first step towards reaching your financial goals. Securities offered through LPL Financial.
He'll give us a quick version.
Touchstone Energy Cooperative members save more on electricity, and members save more on insurance, groceries, healthcare, restaurants, travel, concerts, and sporting events through Co-op Connections. Touchstone Energy is an alliance of the member-owned electric cooperatives, and as a member, the power is yours. Experience the power of co-op membership with Touchstone Energy, and find out how much you can save on electricity and a whole lot more at TouchstoneEnergy.com.
Surprised he's not wearing those sunglasses.
Your home is where your memories live. It's where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Learn more at scfbins.com.
Call me, Alex Satterfield,
at 803-749-9171
for all of your Midlands insurance needs.
Stink of that crap.
Football season is upon us, and that means Columbia is welcoming fans from around the corner and across the country. No matter where you're from, Gamecocks love coming together for game day energy that can only be found in South Carolina's capital city. Book hotel rooms, find pre- and post-game activities, and plan your tailgate spread with local favorites from pimento cheese to barbecue at ExperienceColumbiaSC.com. We'll see you soon, and go Gamecocks!
Go Gators.
Walford, Virginia, Kingdom.
We are back on the high school football scoreboard on the Sports Talk Media Network, and we're brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Make sure you visit Founders all across the state of South Carolina. Great people. They'll take great care of you and your financial needs. We go to Garrett Mitchell, who was also on hand for that Clinton and Woodruff game. Garrett, welcome in. Monty kind of gave us the overview from the Red Devils side. This is a big rivalry game, of course, in the upstate, has been for decades. Always will be a rivalry game, though Clinton got the better of it tonight. What'd you think about the Woodruff effort?
Man, I'll tell you what, Phil, and I'm sure there's not much I can say that Monty probably didn't do a great job of covering already. But, it was one of those things where when you coming in, that it would be a tough matchup for the Wolverines. Clinton, of course, is a very good team. And, can't really pay attention to their two losses. One came against a very, very good Chapman team, and against South Hagen, they were down 10 starters. But really, really pleased with the Woodruff effort. They got the ball first. It just really smacked Clinton right in the mouth on the first drive. Took it right down the field and went for it on fourth down from the 30 and had a 30-yard touchdown pass. Was a great play call to the 6'6" sophomore wide receiver. Clinton came back, had a good kickoff return. Obviously, they scored, evened it up. They scored two straight, I believe. Woodruff answered with two field goals. Again, some pretty good kicks from our sophomore place kicker, who's kind of struggled at times this year. So it was good to see him not to win. 21-13 at halftime, and you felt good. It was a one-score game, and you're like, okay, you're right there. And then the rains came, and it rained everywhere from steady to hard for the rest of the ball game. And point blank, Clinton's already a good team. You're battling uphill anyway. And certainly they are built to play in that kind of weather. Woodruff's more of an air raid, wide open, and they're not. So that tipped the scales in Clinton's advantage a little bit. But I think at the end of the day, when you measure the two teams up from where they stand right now, it's really a two-score ball game. You take away the safety off of a bad punt snap, it's a 34-20 ball game. 36-20 final. I don't think anybody can fault the Wolverines for the effort they gave tonight.
No, all you can do is give the effort and lay it out there and see what you can do. How are things looking postseason-wise?
Well, Woodruff has already clinched the playoff spots. So with a 5-team region, obviously with Union County and Emerald both having really down seasons, for any lack of a better way of saying it, the win over Emerald last week, for all intents and purposes, clinched the playoff spots. Woodruff's got their bye week next week, and then they go to Union, which should be a win in pretty much a runaway type ball game. Woodruff, if they win at Union County, then they're third. They're no worse than third. They finished 2-2 in region play, and looks like as the matchups stand, that puts them on the road at either Powdersville or Wren in the first round.
Did you catch a Powdersville final tonight? I've been looking for one. I haven't been able to put my eyes on it.
Bill, honestly, I have not caught that final score yet. As many as I've seen, that has not been one of them.
Yeah, it's one from the upstate that we're missing right now. Okay, Garrett, thank you very much. Safe travels. Talk to you next week. Always appreciate it.
Well, it's Woodruff's bye week next week, so I will actually be down in South Beach in Miami for the Clemson-Miami football game. So I'm going to go down where it's a little bit warmer, enjoy some sunshine. We're going to head down to the Florida Keys next Sunday for a couple of days, and then we'll get back to work in 2 weeks as Woodruff heads to Union.
Ooh, I hate you. I really do.
I'm sweating just thinking about it.
No, I'm really kind of pissed off that you're doing that. Okay.
I'll tell you what. I'll send you a postcard. You can live vicariously.
Okay, man. Well, have fun. Yeah, the times I've covered Clemson down there. Thank you, man. Going to South Beach is a ton of fun. David, you ever been to South Beach?
No, I've been south of the beach, but never to South Beach.
You got to get down there one day. It really is. Just to kind of summarize it. No, it's so much fun because
it's not on my bucket list.
As you walk down the sidewalk in South Beach, that part of Miami, it's nothing but restaurants. And the restaurants, the seating is built out from the restaurant to the street, and they have canopies. And you walk from one restaurant to the next, the canopy over the sidewalk, and then across the street is the beach. You know, right across, they have the beaches right across the street.
If it's anything like south of the border, I don't want to go.
No, it's not like south of the border. No, I promise you that. You know, you just go and put on your Speedo, David. You put your Speedo on, and you run out there on the beach, and
Jesus, I would be arrested quickly.
I don't think they make Speedos that work for us.
You're the Speedo guy. I'm the sweatpants and t-shirt dude.
It's a hoot down there, and of course the Keys. I've only been there once, but that was interesting as well. Okay, we'll hit the break and we'll come back and recap all the scores. Get David's thoughts on many of the scores. Maybe get another report or two in. Maybe hit up a coach. We'll be back.
Okay. I can't get these final scores.
Thanks, man.
Then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
House of Representatives, still no speaker, but they do have a name. Jim Jordan, the House Judiciary Committee Chair, nominated to be the next speaker. Vote next week. SRN News.
This decade may be the worst one yet to retire in. That's why you need the most current retirement information. For more than 30 years, Bob Carlson has been helping investors stay ahead of turbulent markets and money-grubbing politicians. Now, more than ever, you need to subscribe to Bob Carlson's Retirement Watch. Bob makes sure his Retirement Watch readers are getting independent advice on all aspects of retirement. It's advice you won't get anywhere else. When you subscribe to Retirement Watch, you'll get 12 months of the newsletter. You'll also get 5 model portfolios. Plus, you'll get immediate access to the Retirement Watch private website with tons of special reports. You'll also get an online spending calculator to help you deal with inflation. Plus, exclusive conference calls with Bob Carlson, answering your retirement questions live, all for as little as $49.99.
Fran Halloran here. Now, listen closely to what I'm about to say. I'm a business owner, and many of you listening right now, you're business owners as well. The first rule in owning a business is this: don't waste money. I see business owners waste their marketing dollars all the time. Not me. I figured out a long time ago that spending my marketing dollars at the point was not only intentional, but extremely profitable as well. If you're a small business owner, you owe it to yourself to sit down with Kevin Cohen and ask him to create a custom marketing plan for your business. He's looking for folks just like you who believe in local to partner with him in 2023 and beyond. Trust me when I tell you, partnering with The Point works. You will see results and your marketing budget will no longer be wasted. Give Kev a call at 803-563-8558 and tell him the Money Coach sent you.
Do you own an annuity? Either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity.
He ain't calling
The
in unless
Annuity
he can
Do's
get
and
right
Don'ts
on
for
the
baby
air.
boomers contains the
Even Alan
little-known
Smothers
truths about
called in.
annuities,
Smothers, they
like
said
how to
they
help
came in
reduce your
Latta tonight.
fees
Did
and
you know
increase
that? They
retirement
broadcast
income.
from Latta?
And it's free. That's right, free.
Can't believe it.
As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for baby boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. That's 800-760-1845.
There's more than one kind of customer when it comes to Shooter's Choice. First, there's the customer who knows what's what, has a pretty good idea of what he or she likes. You're looking for a few things. First, a good selection. Yep. Shooter's Choice has a huge selection. Firearms, ammo, accessories, optics, even gun safes. You're looking for good and fair pricing. Oh, yeah. Shooters has been around as your local stop forever because they treat you right. And how about customer service? Absolutely the best you'll find anywhere. The folks who work at Shooter's Choice are shooters and hunters just like you. They know their products. They can answer your question. And that brings me to the other type of customer. Someone maybe more like me. No expert for sure, who wants to learn from the right people. I don't need some big box store guy who works in the shoe department half a week, sporting goods the other half. I need the experts at Shooter's Choice who will treat me right, answer my questions as simple as they might be. They'll make my experience excellent. Online at shooterschoicesc.com or visit them in person on Sunset Boulevard in West Columbia. Make it your first choice, your best choice. Make it Shooter's Choice.
That's hard to believe. Northwood Academy.
Do you already have a score for West Florence?
Yeah, got that.
I just saw a tweet come through.
Academy 52-10. Look for Sam Albuquerque to call in. That's probably him. Okay, back we are. High school football scoreboard. Sports Talk Media Network. Let's go. Got a couple of more reports to get to. Then we'll get to the scores. Let's welcome in Chris Bergen, co-host of Sports Talk, sideline for the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, and voice of the Socastee Braves. And as Sam Copeland used to say when he was the sports anchor at Channel 13 in Florence, Socastee socked it too. Fill in the blank. Or usually it was the other way around. Usually it was fill in the blank, socked it too, Socastee.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I'd go quite that far, but they did get a big win tonight, beat Conway 27-21 on homecoming at the newly dedicated Renfro Family Field at Braves Stadium. After last week, gut-wrenching loss for Socastee, they had a 14-point lead on St. James midway through the fourth quarter, ultimately lost that ball game. You didn't know how they'd respond, Phil, but to Socastee's credit, Ben Hampton's club came out. They took the opening drive of the ball game, drove it right down the field, and took an early 7-0 lead. And then on the ensuing kickoff, Conway, Socastee's gotten in a situation now they'll pooch kick most of their kickoffs. And two of the upmen for Conway ran into one another, and they fumbled the football, and Socastee recovered. And you thought, man, Friday the 13th, maybe some luck is going to change for the Braves. They couldn't do anything with it. And then Conway, over the course of the next quarter, going into the middle portion of the second quarter, scored 21 unanswered points. And it looked like it was going to be the Tigers to spoil homecoming. But Socastee got a touchdown right before halftime, made it 21-14, and then dominated the second half, shut down Conway's run game, shut out Conway for the second half, got a couple of touchdowns, and ended up winning 27-21. But I thought it was an interesting defensive strategy by Conway when Socastee got the go-ahead touchdown to lead 27-21. They had their edge rushers on the point after touchdown try and guess the snap count, and if they were early, it was an automatic offside, of course, so Socastee would have to kick it again. They did that twice. Both times mistimed the snap. On the third snap, Alon Levy, the place kicker for Socastee, pulled his extra points. Partly, I'm sure, because he was fearing the rush. And so it set up a situation where Conway, should they punch it in the end zone, would have had a chance to win the game. But Socastee's defense really, really strong in the second half and pulled out a good win for them, snapped a 6-game losing streak on the 50th, I guess it's the golden meeting, the 50th meeting between soccer teams.
Very good. Thank you, Chris. You get another Saturday off. You enjoy it. Some of us will be slaving away, but you enjoy it. We'll see you Monday.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm guessing you'll probably get home before 7 o'clock Sunday morning, right?
I would hope so.
From Columbia?
Like you did the other day from Boone. I understand.
Exactly.
I'll cry you a river next time you have to go on the road.
I appreciate that. Thanks, Phil.
Thank you. All right, Chris Bergen. Yeah, they, Appalachian played Coastal on Tuesday night. And that was, of course, a night game on television. And Chris and the crew and the team, they all drove back through the night, got back to Conway about 7 in the morning. Not a lot of fun. Not a lot of fun. Sam Albuquerque is with us. I'm glad he is because he was at one of the big games in the upstate tonight. Sam from the Greenville News, and he watched Burns and Dorman. Tell us about this one. Heck of a finish, I guess, 28-26. The Rebels win it, Sam. Welcome.
Yeah, this is probably the weirdest game I've ever seen in my life, Bill. Coming into this one, Burns, is we rank them as our number one team in the upstate. Dorman has been on the upside, but they're under 500. They've lost to a couple teams that usually Dorman doesn't lose to. So we didn't expect them to be very competitive. But the first play after the kickoff, Owen Hendricks, Dorman senior linebacker, takes a pick six to about 25 yards to the house, and it's 7-0 Dorman. It was the weirdest start to the game. The very next play, Burns returns a kickoff for a touchdown, and it's 7-7. And then they just it holds. And, both teams score one more time. Another pick six for Dorman. This time, Contavion Anderson takes it from one end zone to the other. Literally, Burns in the red zone. They throw an interception. Contavion takes it from 100 yards from the line of from the goal line on one side of the field all the way to the other. And then Burns comes back and they score the first offensive touchdown of the game. And it's 14-14, one offensive touchdown, 2 pick sixes, and a kickoff return for a touchdown. And then it stays that way until about the fourth quarter. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, finally Burns does what we expected them to do. Zy Landrum comes in, the backup quarterback comes in, and he runs for about a 45-yard touchdown, 21-14 Burns. And then on the ensuing kickoff right after that touchdown, they force a fumble, and literally the next play from scrimmage, Trey Segura runs it in for, I think they want to say like a 40, 50-yard touchdown. And it's 28-14, and all's back to normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not when Dorman gets the ball. And Dorman hasn't been the most effective passing the ball all season. And especially recently, they've really leaned into the run game. That's kind of how they've gotten back to what we know Dorman about. I don't know how familiar you are with the Dorman program. And it's a running program that usually produces a lot of offensive linemen. They're not known for the quarterbacks. It's mainly the running backs and the O-linemen. And they've really leaned into that the past couple of games, and they've been successful with it. But in the fourth quarter, they throw 2 touchdown passes after, I think, throwing for 58 yards and an interception the previous 3 quarters. And we're talking about long touchdowns. It's K.D. Haydensworth, the sophomore receiver over there, that's been sensational this year. And it's supposed to be 28-28, but they have, and it was raining pretty much all night in Duncan. So they fumble the extra point on the first touchdown, and so they have to go for 2 with about 1:40 left. Burns steps up, gets to stop there. It's 28-26, and they try the onside kick, doesn't work out, and Burns holds on to win it. It really was just a strange game overall. So I did not see that one coming.
It sounds like it. Goofy. I think goofy's a good way to put it.
Yeah, and I think something had to do with a little bit with the rain. It was raining on and off pretty much all game, so that definitely, I would say played a factor. There was a quarterback change, for Burns. They tried putting their one of their best defensive backs and wide receivers at quarterback. He actually was a part-time quarterback for Dorman his freshman year. So 2 years ago, he was one of the Dorman quarterbacks. Now he was playing defensive back and receiver for Burns, and actually played a little quarterback for Burns too. So it was just a lot of weird stuff happened tonight, though.
Do you see either one of those teams going deep in the playoffs?
So Burns definitely has the talent. I'd go out on a limb and say they're probably the most talented from you talking about recruiting aspects, size, speed. They're probably the most talented team in the entire state, in my opinion, or at least in 5A. Because the 4A teams seem really, really fantastic this year. But I think Burns has a chance, and especially and I can talk about this from what I saw last year from that experience. They didn't, they turned the ball over in the fourth quarter in overtime against Spartanburg, against Gaffney, and they ended up finishing third in the region. This year, when it's a close game, when it's when it comes down to the wire, they've been able to eke it out, and it really has come down to their defense has been phenomenal. They gave up 26 points today, but before the fourth quarter, it was no offensive touchdowns. I think a total of like 60 yards. And then, I think they went into a little bit of a prevent defense, and Dorma was able to take advantage of that. But I think their defense is stacked. They don't have a weakness on that defense. They're missing their big defensive tackle right now, Sherrod Wilkins, that's hurt, but they still have quality defensive linemen. They have a great linebacker in James Oates, who's probably, to me, the most under-recruited player in the area. 6'4", 190, lanky, can run, has good hands, phenomenal open field tackler. And their secondary, they have three Division I Power 5 players in the secondary: Kenai Cook, Kamarius Bomar, and Armani Weaver, who have offers from teams all over the country.
Mm-hmm. Sam, great stuff, man.
I think they can make a run.
Sam, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. Remind folks to read your stuff at the Greenville News, and the Anderson Independent, and the Spartanburg Herald Journal. All three connected up there. Thank you so much, sir. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate it, Phil. Thanks, man.
Thank you. Appreciate the report. Sam Albuquerque, best name. And even, David Shelton, that's a cool name, but it ain't as cool as Sam Albuquerque.
Heck no, that's an awesome name.
That's a cool name. We could call you, let me think, David Charleston. Nah. David
Los Angeles.
David Los Angeles. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, I was born in Tampa, so you can call me Tampa Dave.
Tampa Dave. Tampa 2. Tampa Dave. Tampa 2. David, tell me why, and we're going to go to break here, then we're going to come back and talk. Tell me why I can't find a Wando Stratford score anywhere.
You know what? I am looking for that as well.
Did they play invisible tonight? Nobody in Charleston's got the score.
I don't know. I'm going to text the Wando AD while we're at the break.
Well, let us know when you come back, because I'm dying to know.
I got a new one, Detroit Dave.
Detroit Dave. Yep.
Detroit Dave.
I like that. Detroit Dave. Sam Albuquerque. You can't beat it. Hard to spell, but fun to say. Be back in a moment.
Looking for a way to fight back against inflation? One viable way to help your money stay relevant during inflation is through investing. To a new investor, investing can feel like a puzzle. With so many pieces to consider, it can be hard to know where to start. But with the right guidance along the way, you can put the pieces together to create a winning strategy. That's where Founders Investment Services come in. Our team of financial advisors can help you navigate the complexities of investing and create a personalized plan that fits your goals and risk tolerance. We'll work with you to identify the pieces of your puzzle and how they fit into your financial future. When you're ready to find the pieces to your financial plan, call 866-739-7064 to speak with one of our specialists, or visit foundersfcuinvestments.com to learn about how we can help you identify the key pieces to your financial plans. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC, and not NCUA insured. Not guaranteed by credit union and may lose value.
You got
Farm Bureau Insurance's agricultural roots and ties to South Carolina farmers have shaped the company's culture and work ethic, providing a unique customer experience. Customers are treated like people, not policies. Now, while other insurance companies may have a one-size-fits-all approach to handling customers, we believe you need to be valued and treated right. Our claims professionals work until the job is done, and our agents still believe in the commitments that comes with a handshake. Call Buddy Bridges in Clinton and Lawrence at 864-923-2174 for all of your auto, home, and life insurance needs.
How much money are you going to lose on it?
South Carolina's taste buds have spoken, and they're asking for beef. There are more than 7,800 farms raising cattle from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with the family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at scattle.org. Beef, it's what's for dinner in South Carolina. Funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff Program.
Get them at your school, and they'd have lines on them. They'd have the building. Okay, we're back. Josh Cohen, also known as Gator Boy Jr. Are you Gator Boy 3 in your family?
I'm just the Gator Boy.
Oh, you're just the Gator Boy.
Yeah. Singular.
I hear you. All right, let's recap the scores. We've got everything in almost. David, did you find out about Stratford and Wando?
Still working on it.
Okay. Well, we're missing.
I just work here.
3 or 4 in the upstate. A little disappointed in that fact, but we're still looking. Belton Honey Path 56, Fountain Inn 7, Burns 28, Dorman 26. Do not have Blue Ridge and Carolina. If you got it, share it. 888-898-2525. Certainly somebody from Blue Ridge or Carolina is listening to us on our station in the upstate, 104.9. Chapman 56, Travelers Rest nothing. We do not have Chesney and Blacksburg. Can't find it anywhere. Chester 48, Emerald 16, Clover 24, Blythewood 7, Daniel 42, Seneca 3. Christchurch and Dixie don't have that. You could call my buddy Dixie Carter over there in Due West.
And call my buddy Jesus.
Yeah, you probably could.
Yeah.
Anyway, Easley 63, Berea 37, Gaffney 17, Boiling Springs 7, T.L. Hanna 36, Hillcrest 33, South Point 21, Indian Land 8, J.O. Man 55, Malden 6, Lancaster 20, Catawba Ridge 13, Abbeville 49, Landrum nothing, Lawrence 23, Wade Hampton 13, 96, 56, Liberty 39, Wren 39, Palmetto 7, Pendleton 41, Crescent 14, Greenville 52, Pickens 7. David, I've got a nickname for this rivalry between Greenville and Pickens.
I heard that right as I came on the air with you earlier.
What'd you think?
You come up with stuff. I just roll my eyes.
The Speedway, Greenville Pickens Speedway, 52-7.
Yep.
Powdersville 57, Southside nothing, Riverside 41, Eastside 20, Rock Hill 42, Nation Ford 21, Saluda 15, Silver Bluff 14. That had to be a heck of a ball game. Walhalla 37, West Oak 6, Westside 35, Greenwood 28. Good one there. Whitmire 44, Wilson Elko 20, Clinton 36, Woodruff 20, Northwestern 56, York 14. Do not have McCormick, Southside Christian. David, thoughts about these upstate scores? I guess, how about Northwestern beating York, second loss for York. So Northwestern looking good. How about Saluda beating Silver Bluff? And we talked about Hanna and Hillcrest. So anything else there catch your eye?
Yeah, most of those scores, Westside had to come from behind to beat Greenwood tonight. Scored late to win that game. Greenwood had a chance to win that. So that was a very close game as expected. And hey, I got a Stratford Wando score, by the way.
Oh, good.
I just got it.
What you got?
Stratford 39, Wando 28.
39 Stratford, 28 Wando. Okay, very good.
Did you know, I'll give you a quick fact. Stratford coach Denny McDaniel played at Stratford, played at Charleston Southern. I knew him when he was still in diapers. I was coaching a girls softball team many moons ago. I was like 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
And his father, Denny Sr., was coaching his daughters, Amy and Amanda, and we played each other all the time. And I remember, now I don't know if you know Denny McDaniel, but he's a big old boy. But he was a big old boy when he was in diapers. But I think about it every time we talk. I was like, man, I knew this kid since he was like 2 years old.
That just means
how old I am.
You're seasoned. That just means you're seasoned. All right, in the Midlands, we got Midland Valley 56, Aiken 18, Andrew Jackson 47, Central 8. Cannot find Barnwell and Ridgeland Hardyville. War Horses, give us a call. 888-898-2525.
Oh, I saw that score. Let me find it.
All right, see if you can find it. I might have mentioned it earlier, but I didn't write it down. Batesburg-Leesville 42, Fox Creek 14. Bamberg-Earhart 55, Bethune-Bowman nothing. McBee, the Rick Henrys, over C.A. Johnson 29-12. Do not have Blackville-Hilda Calhoun County. Dutch Fork 41, Chapin 8. Crestwood 39, Darlington 12. Dreer loses to Brooklyn Casey. BC 41, Dreer 35. Keenan 52, Eau Claire nothing. Missing Branchville Estill. Fairfield Central 55, Columbia 6. Hampton County 64. Woodland nothing. What you got?
There is no Estill anymore.
Oh.
They combined with Wade Hampton.
Why were they playing Branchville then?
I don't know what schedule you got, but by the way, Barnwell defeated Ridgeland Hardyville 38-24.
38-24. Barnwell over Ridgeland Hardyville. Okay, so there's no more Estill. I should have known that. I'm glad you told me. So I wonder who Branchville was playing.
Wasn't Estill.
It wasn't Estill. Okay. Fairfield Central over Columbia 55-6. Hampton County 64. Woodland nothing. Hunter Connor Tyler 36. Denmark Oler 6. Irmo 49. AC Flora 3. White Knoll 16. Lexington nothing. Lower Richland 49. Swansea 7. Richland Northeast 48. Lugoff Elgin 21. Gilbert 48. Orangeburg Wilkinson 14. Strom Thurmond 43. Pillion 7. Ridgeview 40. Westwood nothing. Do not have Edisto and Ridgeland Hardyville. South Aiken 38. Airport. Huh?
Barnwell beat Ridgeland Hardyville. I just told you that score.
Oh. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah.
Where do you get your
38-24. Okay.
Hey, Phil's getting old. That's all we got to say.
Well, then who did Edisto? Listen, man, I'm just taking my scores.
Oh, wait a minute. I just got a text that said Ridgeland and Hardyville are now separate schools again. Now, I did not know that. So Barnwell beat Ridgeland.
Huh?
So there's a Hardyville and a Ridgeland now? I did not know that.
I did not know that. When did that happen?
I got to find that out.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I got to find that out.
So maybe Edisto
Barnwell coach
played one of them and Barnwell played the other. Figure that one out for us. This is crazy. Yeah. South Aiken 38. I blame the high school league. South Aiken 38. Airport 15. Doesn't everybody blame the high school league? Fort Mill 21. Spring Valley 7. And Wagner Sally beat Ridge Spring Bonetta 52-30. So no more Estill. I should have known. I knew that Estill and Hampton. I just didn't know it when I did the sheet because
you forgot.
I get my sheet. I get my schedules from a source. It's a high school source, and I rely on that person to have it right. I'm not going to say who it is because I'm not going to call him out, but let's get it right. Damn it. In the PD, Carolina Forest 17, Sumter 14, and the Grand Strand. Carvers Bay 40, Scotts Branch 12, Cheraw 20, North Central 6, Chesterfield 34, Buford 21, Loris 31, Georgetown 7, Johnsonville 31, East Clarendon 21, Andrews 35, King Street 14, Lamar 48, Hannah Pamplico 20, Latta. Let this marinate for a couple of moments. Latta 17, Lakeview 14.
Wow. That's quite
let that sink in. Yeah. Let that sink in. Yes, sir. Marion 34, Lee Central 6, Dillon 47, Manning 22, Lakewood 14, Marlboro County 8, Greensea Floyd's 37, Mullins 22, Hartsville 49, North Myrtle Beach 14, Socastee socked it to Conway 27-21, South Florence 42, Myrtle Beach nothing, Waccamaw loses to Aner 38, Waccamaw 36, West Florence 34, Wilson 22. Low Country, Ashley Ridge 48, Berkeley 14, Baptist Hill 54, Burke 6, Hanahan 49, Battery Creek 13, Bishop England 42, First Baptist nothing, Goose Creek 29, Cane Bay 25, Cross 40, Military Magnet nothing, Lucy Beckham 38, Hilton Head 10, James Island 31, Bluffton 12, May River 35, Colleton County 16, Philip Simmons 43, North Charleston nothing, Oceanside 55, Academic Magnet 14, Fort Dorchester 63, Stall 6, Timberland 41, Lake Marion nothing. Stratford 39, Wando 28, Somerville 48, West Ashley 30, Well Branch 42, Allendale Fairfax 8, Skeeza, Pleasa, Lawrence Manning 35, Augusta Christian 10, Cardinal Newman 38, Camden Military 14, Colleton Prep 25, Carolina Academy 21, Lee Academy 49, Dillon Christian 12, Hammond 41, Trinity Collegiate 13, Pinewood Prep 42, Hilton Head Prep 18, Faith Christian 52, Holy Trinity 16, Jefferson Davis 28, Andrew Jackson nothing, Bethesda 40, Northside Christian nothing, Northwood Academy 52, John Paul II 18, Thomas Hayward 41, Buford Academy 28, Williamsburg Academy 24, Orangeburg Prep 14, Florence Christian 28, Wilson Hall 14, and Hilton Head Christian 38, PD Academy nothing. David, final thoughts in 30 seconds.
I still think Ridgeland Hardyville is still one school, even though Barmel's coach is the one that texted me that.
Yeah.
Said Brian Smith. He said they separated again, and according to Max Preps and according to the school website, they're still together. Maybe they are going to separate at some point, but I don't know. That one threw me for a loop.
Yeah, me too.
I may not sleep tonight.
But then who did Edisto play?
Edisto had an off week. They had a bye week.
Okay, good. All right, that answers that. David, you have a great weekend, my friend. We'll talk to you next week.
I'll do it, man. Thanks.
Thanks to everybody that called in tonight. Thanks to everybody that listened. Thanks to everybody that played. Thanks to everybody that coached. Thanks to everybody that carried the show. And thank you, Josh Cohen. Have a great night.
Weekdays from 7 to 9 on The Point. It's Kev and Brian in the morning. The news, the traffic 4 times an hour, and your daily forecast. Topics to wake you up, topics to make you smile and laugh. Hope you'll join us.
David.
The Point.